Hello everyone. In this class, we're going to discuss about the release strategy, or we can say release procedure. What is this release procedure and what are the different types of release procedures are available and how one can able to configure this release procedure. All these things we're going to study step by step in this class. First thing I'll just discuss about the release strategy. It is nothing but we are approving a document. The release strategy might be for the contracts, it might be for the purchase requisition or the purchase order, or it might be for RFQ. So there are so many different release procedure you can able to do it in SAP MM. This is one kind of approving. Okay, you are approving the whatever the PO you have created or whatever the PR you have created, you are approving for that. So here the release strategy is nothing but we are releasing the PO means we are approving the PO. That is what. So why they are coming up with the release strategy? Okay, so that one we should understand first. Why? Because let us consider some material is there in your industry. Okay, a very costly material. Let us consider ABC is the material, and it is costing around like per gram. It is might be costing around 10,000 rupees. Okay, 10,000 rupees, and you are purchasing this material from particular vendor. Okay, so somebody is creating the purchase order here. So whatever the person who is creating the purchase order, instead of putting 10 grams or some 20 grams, he might means by mistakenly he has kept around 10 kgs. What will going to happen at this particular time? The companies, whichever it is buying this material, no, that may go into the bankruptcy because it is a huge amount. Okay, so without okay acknowledge of different people, this PO should not release like that. Wherever we're going to define it, no, that is what the release procedure is all about. Means for 10 grams, okay, for 1 gram 10k means for 10 grams it might be 1 lakh rupees, but for 10 kgs the amount is very huge. Okay, so that we should consider the release strategy in these particular cases. We can able to do the release strategy based upon the different things here. Okay, like whatever the assignment category is there, or else the plant is there, material group is there, valuation purchase valuation of the purchasing requisition is there, or else the total value of the total material is there. So we will going to consider all those things. Based upon that, we can able to do the release procedure here. Okay, so in the release procedure we're going to get two different types. One is with classification and there is without classification. First we're going to understand what is this with classification. In with classification, no, with this procedure, whatever the release we're going to do, that will be like we're going to release it at the item level as well as the header level. Okay, but whatever the release without classification is there, we will release only at the item level. It is not applicable at the header level. So basically in the PO means release of the purchase order, we're going to use only with classification. And even I am considering in this class I'll just do the release procedure for PO, that is purchase order. And the similar way, if you are going and practicing for the purchase requisition as well as the contracts, or else some RFQs, everything will be same only, but you just have to follow the steps one by one. So next what we're going to do, we'll just see what are the different steps will going to come in the release procedure. Okay, with classification I'm just considering, that is what I said. Means this is means with classification means you can able to do the release at the header level as well as at the item level. But in the PO, basically we'll going to look at the release the purchase orders at the header level only. So that is one thing, and we can have a lot of different strategies for the different situations. Let us consider you can define a release strategy that is dependent on the document type, and you can define a release strategy based on the purchasing organization, purchasing group, or any crucial information of the purchasing document. And how we'll going to define this release procedure, all these things we'll going to see step by step right now. First I'll just write these steps here. Okay, first I'll just go into the SAP screen, and you can directly go to OLME, that will take you to the purchasing, or else you can go to SPRO IMG After that, material management, then purchasing. So without coming all these four steps, we can just directly come to the OLME transaction. It will just directly take us to the purchasing tab. From here, you can see purchase order. Here, purchase order. For purchase order, I am doing no. So that is why I'll just choose the purchase order and just select the purchase requisition. I'll just show you. In the purchase requisition, you can able to do the release procedure. See, setup procedure without classification is also available, and with classification is also available. Means we can able to do the release procedure in the purchase requisition at the header level as well as the item level. Okay, so even in the purchase order, okay, the release procedure only at the header level only. Here we will be doing at the header level only. Okay, and now what I will do, I'll just say release procedure for the purchase order. Here I'll go. So these are the few steps which we need to consider. First thing is we're going to edit the characteristics. Okay, I'll just put it over here. This is the first step. Next step is edit class, define release procedure for purchase orders, and this that's it. And within this defined release procedure only, we're going to take certain activities. And today, whatever the release procedure activities will be doing now, we'll be just doing it for the purchase order. The same steps will be there for the other things also. Just follow these things. And whatever the edit characteristics is there now, the T code for going to this edit characteristic is CT04. And to go for the edit class is CL02. And this one define release procedure, again here we're going to do some activities. Okay, I'll just show them everything to you people. But first what we'll do, we're going to understand few terminologies within the release strategy. The release strategy, it is the procedure which defines the release conditions, release codes and prerequisites through which we're going to do the release strategy. Second comes the release codes. What is this release codes means? These are the approvers, okay, who will going to approve our purchase orders. They are the release codes, and we'll going to do some release prerequisites here, and which will going to help us to set the order for the document to be approved. We'll going to set certain orders. Okay, so there we're going to use the release prerequisites, and we're going to use some release groups also. Okay, so these release groups are assigned to the class, where we will going to create these release groups as per our requirement, like PO release or contract release, like that we're going to do these things. Based upon that, we're going to create the different things in the different codes in the release procedure, and each code will be having his own hierarchy. Okay, we'll see everything in the upcoming topics. Okay, so now I'll just jump into the SAP screen here, and first thing is the release procedure for purchase order. Within that, I'll go to edit characteristic. Okay, so this is the T code is CT04. You can see over here. Now I want to do some what is that characteristic over here. So whether I can going to go through the what is that total value, or else if I want to go through the purchase or means group. Okay, based upon the purchase group also I can able to do the release procedure, and based upon the plant also I can able to do the release procedure. Means what are the means which thing you want to consider for doing the release procedure, that one we should take it here. So what I will do is I'll just take the total value. I'll say LT01 underscore total value. This is my characteristic. Okay, so I'll say create new, and directly go to the additional data. In the additional data, you just need to give the field name as well as the table name here. Only if you are providing this field name and the table name, the entire data at the description and all, it will going to take automatically. Where you will going to find this? Okay, you can find this in the different tables. So where to find this table name and field means, actually we should understand what is the table for this purchase orders. Okay, we all already know that for, EKKO is the header table and EKPO is the item table for the purchase order. Anyway, a table level discussion in the further videos. Now if you are discussing like what is the like field name here, okay, means for the total value, which field name we should select. Okay, for that you just go to SC11, click enter, and here we have to take the database table. Okay, this is the ABAP dictionary. Okay, here we're going to get the entire things about the ABAP. Okay, here you just have to click the CEKKO. Okay, and say click on display here, and here you just find G net W. This is the total value field. Okay, here you can see G net W. Okay, this is the total net order value. So just we have to give this what is that field name here. Okay, that is GNetW. And here what is the table name? That is CEKKO. Just give these things and click on enter. Format data taken from the ABAP dictionary. Just now we have seen the what is the ABAP dictionary, and we should enter the currency. So here I'll just enter my currency. Asking here is the currency. Okay, I'll just put INR here, and whatever the net value I'll be giving now, that will be a multiple value. It is not the single value. I'll be selecting the multiple value, and the number of characteristic is up to 15 digits, and decimal places are up to 2 decimals we can able to provide here. And total net order value, like that the description has taken here. Also you can see the description, the same description will be there for you, and here you need to provide the values. So what kind of values I'm going to provide? I want to use the intervals, so that you can say here intervals values allowed. Okay, I need to tick this box, then only I can able to put the intervals. Intervals means what? How I am releasing the purchase order, means the purchase order is there if the PO is having a value. PO value is 0 to 1 lakh. I'll be taking this into one interval, and this can be released by some person. And if it is 1 lakh to 5 lakh, some persons will going to appear here, means whoever creates the PO, that person has to release. After that, some like manager will going to come into the picture. After that, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, I'll be considering the person who has created the PO, he has to release it first, then it has to move to the manager, then it has to move to the factory head, we can say. And about 10 lakh, whatever the PO we are creating now, that should go to the MD also. Like that, we're going to create four different values here. Okay, based upon the total value, I am changing the release procedure here. So what I will do, I'll just go to the SAP screen, and I'll give 0 to or 0 to, like this. You can put the hyphen 1 lakh. Click enter. Okay, it will take INR automatically. And next thing is 1 lakh 1 to 5 lakh. This is one more interval for me. And 5 lakh 1 to 10 lakh, it is one more interval for me. And above 10 lakh, this is one more interval for me. Like that, I have created four intervals here. So I have given four values here. So that is why I have taken a multiple values here and intervals allowed. Okay, if I have not picked this one, then these intervals I am providing no, like 0 to 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 5 lakh, like that, it will not going to consider. So I'll just save this character, and you should remember this character because we have to assign this character to the class. So I'll just go back here, and the second step is edit class is there. Just execute this, and here lt01, I'll just take the total value only. Okay, total value. And here this class type is important, but in the batch management we have seen this 023, but now if you see 032 is the one which we're going to use for the release strategy. I'll just choose this, and I'll say create here, and we need to give the description. I'll just give lt01 total value, the same description I'm just providing here. The main important thing here is we need to assign our characteristic. Okay, that is lt01 underscore total value is my characteristic. I'll just provide this, and the data is going to take automatically, and just save this class. Now what I have done, I have created the characteristic, and I have created the class. I have assigned my characteristic to the class. Next thing is define release procedure for purchase orders. I have to go to this. This is with classification. So here release groups. First thing, I need to create certain release groups. Just double click on this and say new entries. Here I just need to create some groups here. I'll say G1 is my release group. And for this, I need to assign my class. What is my class? Class is LT01 underscore TV total value. Just click enter. So this is the group which I am creating right now. and I'll just save this data, go back, and here release codes is there. Release codes is nothing but the approvers who will going to approve this. So that one we need to assign. Okay, just double click on the release codes. Here we have the release groups. Okay, G1 like that, it is already there. Okay, I think I have created before, so it is okay, we can use these things only. Means I am just taking the release codes as creator. CR means this release code is a 2-digit code only. Okay, this is the 2-digit code. So I have created the CR as one code, and MN as the next code, that is manager, and PM as the another code, that is plant manager. One more I'll going to create. I'll say new entries here, and what I'll going to create is, I'll just check the group. What is my group? Group is G1. Okay, my group is G1. Here I'll say factory head. FH I'll take factory head. Like that, I have created 4 different codes here. One very important thing in this particular thing is, we can maximally assign 8 release codes. Okay, 8 release codes for a particular release strategy. I'll show you where it will be available. So I have created these are the different release codes for me. One is the CR, that is creator, and next thing is the manager will going to release it, then plant manager will going to come, then factory head will going to release. Then only, means if the value is in between the what is that, above 10 lakh, then all 4 people will come. If it is just below 1 lakh, then only creator will going to release, means the PO will going to get released. If it is 1 lakh to 5 lakh, then here a creator will appear. Once the creator will going to release it, one more person has to release this PO, then only it will release to the vendor, or else no. Like that, we are creating some release procedure here. Just save this data. Okay, I have saved it. Next, go to the release indicator. This is very important thing. Here I'm just marked it as a release ID B for blocked, and changeable indicator I have taken it as a 4. I'll just explain about this changeable indicators. Very important. And next thing is release ID is R, and I have marked it as released here, and changeable indicator I have put it 6, and it is released status. Okay, I'll just go here, and these things are very important for us. Okay, first thing, if you are just taking the first one, okay, cannot be released, it is the cannot be released in status. Okay, means if you are changing anything, okay, changeable indicators means like if you change something in the PO, then it cannot be, means we cannot change the PO. Like that, we are just telling here. Okay, cannot be changed, we can't change the PO at all. And if I'm choosing second, changeable, no new determination of the strategy. What I have given here, I have given 0 to 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, something like that I have given. And let us consider I have created the PO. The value is between the 0 to 1 lakh. And now I just want to have certain changes. Whatever the changes I'm going to make now, that has to be exist within this range only. If it is exceeding, then it will not going to consider that PO. Means you cannot change because the system is telling us changeable, no determination of the new strategy. Okay, no new determination of the means we should not determine the new strategy. Whatever the existing strategy is there, within that only what value is changing, means it is okay. Like that, it is telling us. If you are selecting 3, changeable, new release in case of new strategy, means if you are changing it, then we should make the new release. Whatever the release is there already done release, that will going to collapse, or that will be discarded, and you have to do the new release. Like that. And fourth one is changeable, new release in case of the new strategy or the value changed. If you are changing the value, then also you should go for the new release. If you are like a new strategy is appearing, then also you should go for the new release. That is one. And five, if you are considering changeable, new strategy, if new what is that, if new strategy are outputted. Okay, so here also it is changeable. If you have sent it already, okay, that is the outputted, then also means then you can able, you have to do the new release. If it is a new strategy, then also you have to do the new release. Like that. And if you have selected 6, that is changeable, new release, if new strategy or value changed or outputted, whatever things that may happen, then we have to do the new release only. Like that, they are telling. So these are the different changeable indicators which will going to come in the release strategy. Okay, so I have just taken 4 changeable indicator for the blocked and 6 for the released. Okay, I'll just maintain these things only. Now I'll just do it for the release strategy. This is one more thing which is really important at this particular case. I'll just delete these things. Okay, I'll just delete and I'll show you from the first how we will going to maintain these things. I'll just save this data and now go for the new entries. Here I'll say okay, first thing, release group. What is my release group? That is G1. And release strategy I have to take, I'll just take S1 as a strategy 1. Okay, strategy 1 is for 0 to 1 lakh rupees, so I am considering this strategy for 0 to 1 lakh rupees. And who will going to release this? Okay, I'll just say creator. Whoever is going to create the PO, he, if he is releasing, then the PO will going to release to the vendor. Okay, like that I'm just giving you over here. He is the only person who is releasing it. Okay, I'll just see release prerequisites, that is correct. And I'll go to the release status. See here, if it is not released by the creator, then it will be in the blocked status. If he is released, then it will be in the release status. I'll say continue. I'll go to the classification. Here I have to give the value. If only the creator has to release, that should be in between the 0 to 1 lakh rupees. I'll just give this and go back, save this and go to the release simulation. You can simulate this release also. So just say simulate release here. Here release option is there, release possible is there. I'll just double click on this. Now you can see here blocked is there. I'll just double click on this. See, now it is released. Okay, so the simulation is working fine. Like that I can consider. I'll just save this data. I'll go back. I have created one strategy now. I have to create 4 different strategies, right? Because we are taking 4 different values here, means 4 different strategies will going to come. We are considering 0 to 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, and above 10 lakh, right? So that is why we'll going to create 4 different strategies here. Again, group is 1, and we're going to take the strategy as 2. This is between the 1 lakh to 5 lakh. Here, 2 persons will going to come into the picture. First, a creator will going to release it. If any errors are there, okay, to rectify those errors, we're going to take the manager help. Okay, means he will be a evaluator, we can say. Somebody will be there to evaluate the whatever the procedure is, whatever the PO is releasing. Okay, so here manager is also evaluating that purchase order, then we are releasing it. Okay, I'll just go to the release prerequisites. I have to tick that the last person who will going to release here is a manager. First creator will going to release. Okay, so we should not tick here, there is no tick option available. So once the creator will going to release, then it will go to the manager. Once manager will going to release, then only it will going to approve or release. And I'll go to release statistics. See here, if both are not released, then it will be in the block status. If only one is released, still it is in the block status. Both are released, then only it is in the release status. I'll say continue. And classification I should give this value, because from 1 lakh to 5 lakh they are coming into the picture. I'll just right mark and go back and save this data and go to the release simulation. Here you can simulate this release. See, for creator the release possible is there, but for manager release prerequisite is missing, means he is not yet authorized to release this purchase order. So first I'll going to release from the creator. Once he'll going to release it, then only it will move to the manager. So once he'll going to release it, then it will be in the release status. So I'll say the release procedure is working perfect and go back now. The second strategy also I have created. Third one I'll be going. Okay, here the group is G1 and strategy 3 I am creating. This is for 5 lakh to 10 lakh. Here these are the release codes. Okay, until 8 codes only it is possible to put over here. Okay, we cannot put more than 8 codes. First a creator will going to release, then a manager will going to release, then the plant manager, okay, he will going to release, then only the PO will going to release. Like that I'll going to give this data. Here I'll going to select these 3 things and release statuses. You can see once all will going to release, then only it will going to release, or else it will be in the blocked status. And classification I'll going to provide it a 5 lakh to 10 lakh value and say okay here. And go back and save this data again. If you want, you can check the simulation. See, first he will going to release, then it will be possible for the manager. Once he will going to release, then only it will possible for the plant manager. Until plant manager will going to release, it will be in the block status. Once we will going to release, then only it will be in the release status. So I will just we have just checked this. Okay, the everything is correct. Just go back. We have to create one more. Okay, that is, I'll say G1 is a group and S4 is the strategy. It is above 10 lakh. Who are going to come? Creator will come. After that, manager will going to release. Means we have to provide these things in the hierarchy only. First, if you are providing the factory head, then the release will going to move to the factory head first. Okay, you again you can do this thing in the prerequisites as well, but here also you should provide it in the hierarchy. Even the prerequisites also we should maintain in the hierarchical way. Okay, manager. After that, our plant manager will going to release it. Then the factory head will going to come into the picture. So once see here how I'll going to give. First I'll going to release by the creator, then the manager, then the plant manager, then the factory head. Like that I'm giving the prerequisite here. I'll go to the release statuses. See, once all four will going to release, then only it will be in the released, or else no. I'll just say a classification here. What classification I'll going to provide? I'll say about 10 lakh. Then just take this. Okay, go back and save this data. If you want, you can check the what is that simulation also. See, release possible for him. I'll just release from everyone until factory head will going to release. Still it is in the block status. I'll just release from him also. Now the PO is released. Okay, like that the status will come. So I have set the release procedure. Now what we'll do, we'll just create one PO and we're going to check this activity. I'll go for ME21N and I'll just take the document overview one and I'll going to create the PO from the previous PO. That is possible, right? So I'll say my purchase orders and I'll just take this purchase order, and this is the vendor and we have taken the material 1670 something like that. PO quantity I'll going to maintain it as 1000 quantity and net price is 20 rupees. Okay, so I'll just check this. Okay, just click on check here. See, no messages are there. I'll just click on header data. Here you can see a release strategy, or else first, okay, from the first I'll going to create one more PO. I'll say no here, and again take the same. See here, you cannot see the release strategy at the initial stage. The tab is not available. Okay, once I'll going to click on check. Okay, then only that release strategy will going to appear here, because we have created the release strategy for this particular company and we are created this for the total value of the material. I'll say check. You can see that release strategy tab is appearing. Once you're going to click over here, who is the person who will going to release it? Only the creator. Why? Because whatever the value is there, the value of this what is that PO is only the 20,000 rupees. Only 20,000 rupees is there. So that is why, because how we have defined 0 to 1 lakh, only creator will going to release this. Okay, until 1 lakh rupees, the creator will only release this. If it is 1 lakh 1 rupees, then two people will going to come into the picture. What I will do, I'll just take this as 1000 only. Here I'll going to take 101 rupees. Now this will be like we'll just click enter. See what is the price here. This is 1 lakh 1000 rupees. So now it should consider two people here. I'll just go to the header data and I'll just check it here. Okay, click on check. See, now the creator, first it is possible for the creator, then it will go to the manager. Once both will going to release, then only PO will going to move to the vendor, or else no. Again I'll going to change the value here. Okay, instead of 101, okay, I want to make it 5 lakh, above 5 lakh. No, I'll just make it 5000 quantities. Just click enter, check it. Now three people will come into the picture because the price is more than 5 lakh here. If I want to check it more than 10 lakh, just make it 10 and check it here. Okay, the price is more than 10 lakh, so that factory head is also coming into the picture. Once all these people will going to release, then only we can able to release the purchase order. Okay, I'll just keep this value and I'll just save this data. Okay, now we have to release this purchase order, then only we can move further, or else we can't able to do the GR. I'll just try to do the GR now. Copy it here. I'll go to MIGO, put this PO here, click enter. See what it is saying: purchasing document not yet released. Okay, how we'll going to release this purchasing document? For releasing the purchasing document, we have the T codes. The one T code is ME29N, that is for the individual release, And if you are going for the ME28, that is the group release, we can say. I'll just go for the ME29N first, /n ME29N, click enter. See here, I have to take that PO first here. Other POs, I'll just paste your PO and click enter. See, all the 4 people are coming. Once you're going to tick here, it is says that he is released. Then it will going to move to the manager. He has to tick this. Then it will move to the plant manager. He will going to tick it. Then it will going to move to the factory head. Then he has to tick it. Then only we can able to release this purchase order. Now I'll not going to save it, and I want to create one more PO, because I will show you how we can able to do the group release as well. I'll just go to the ME21N, click enter, and whatever the PO we have just now created, now we'll just take that reference and we're going to create the one more purchase order for a smaller amount. I'll just take 5 lakh here, means only 3 people will going to come into the picture. You can see, if I say check here in the release procedure, we will going to get 3 people. Save this thing. Now I'll go to the ME28 /n ME28. Click enter. First I'll going to take the CR, because first we have to release the CR here. Okay, creator has to release, then only it will move to the manager, right? So I'll just execute this. Okay, based upon CR. Okay, the POs are, these many POs are available. Okay, once these are the 2 POs which I have just now created. I'll just click on this and I'll say release here. See, that will be changing in the green color. I'll click on the second one and I'll say release. Means on these 2 POs, whatever the creator is there, he has released it, like that. This is the status. I'll just save this and go back. We'll just check this in the ME29N, or else we can check it in the ME23N also. But first I'll directly go to the ME29N, so that we can just check our PO. See here, creator is released. I'll change the purchase order here. I'll just make it 4 here. And here also you can see the creator is already released. Now we have to just release these 2 and we are good to go for the creation of the GR, goods receipt. So once I'll go to the goods receipt creation, here I'll just change the value to 84 and click enter. Now the PO is coming over here. Until and unless you release the PO, you cannot able to get the what is that, we cannot able to create the goods receipt, because PO is not yet released to the vendor is not going to create the material at all, right? So that is why the release strategy is really really important. In case if you are maintaining the release through the purchasing group or the plant, based on the plant or based on the total value of the material, like this we're going to use the release procedure in the SAP MM. Thank you guys for watching my video.